Hey there, YouTube, short scale Schecter 6 players. Ankanu here. Recently changed up my Schecter Ultra VI bass to baritone tuning. Basically just bought some Dario EXL 158s, light baritone strings, strung it up, and tuned it B to B instead of the E to E normal bass tuning. And I think it sounds pretty good. The scale length is maybe not optimal for playing normal baritone. It's a little bit longer at 30 inches than your normal 28, 28 and a half or whatever baritone. So there's a bit more stretch involved for chording. But tone-wise, there's plenty of snap and it sounds pretty good with some of the features that are on the Ultra 6 that include the Duncan Design FG 101s, which don't quite cut it in a bass roll. They're a little bit too muddy and dark, although sometimes that can be exactly what you're after. They sound pretty good in the Ultra 3 guitar, so I thought maybe they'd work pretty well for baritone tuning, and largely they do. They're mini humbuckers with 3 on-off switches for each pickup, plus coil split. Coil split's more or less useless. It just kind of makes it a little quieter. It doesn't give it any of that single coil snap or what have you. So I generally just run them in full humbucker mode. So I guess get down to sounds. This is again in B2B tuning, which is going to take me a little bit of time to get used to, but the chord shapes are all the same, so hey, whatever. So this is running with the neck and bridge pickups on full humbucker. It sounds all right. Nice and baritone. Gives me a bit of a different range from the Hellcat 6 that I'm playing as standard 6-string bass E to E tuning. So let's give a couple more sounds. This is just the neck pickup. So. The middle pickup. And the bridge. And all 3 on at once. It kind of gives it a bit of a muted sort of almost I don't know, MIDI kind of sound. It has its uses. I used to use this as my main bass, and in my band and some of the songs I actually use that kind of MIDI kind of sound for some of the more baritone-y lead kind of work that I did. But it's generally not that applicable, and it's somewhat quieter. So yeah, it's sounding pretty good, and the tension's a little bit lighter than I'm not used to with the heavier bass strings, but it works pretty nicely, I think. And you can easily bend with it, whereas with the bass it's a little bit harder. So yeah. Overall, decent sounding baritone. Didn't actually have to do any additional setup either. It basically still intonated just fine. So yeah, if you're finding that your Schecter or old Hellcat 6 with the old mini humbuckers in it is sounding kind of muddy, and you might want to go up. They end up making pretty decent baritones as well as basses. So, yeah, gives you some options. See ya.